Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. Thank you for being here. We start tonight with a breaking update out of Spokane Valley.
A second alarm chemical fire sparked a massive response from first responders today as employees were forced to evacuate. It happened at the Inland Empire Paper Company on Oregon.
KREM 2's Shannon Mouty is live on scene right now with the very latest developments. So Shannon, what have you learned so far today?
Well, we know the fire has been out since around 3:19, but if you take a look behind me, you can see that there are still fire crews on scene. That's because there is still some decontamination to do. Now, we have learned that the start of the fire and the chemicals that actually started the fire prompted kind of a unique response to this one. So here is what we know. The initial call came in just after 1 this afternoon for a hazmat situation. We have learned an overpressurized tank containing a bleaching agent was leaking, but the situation soon turned even more dangerous when that chemical reacted with another, causing the fire. And it did actually prompt several employees to be evacuated, and tonight we do know that there are no evacuations in the surrounding area or no shelter-in-place orders.
I would say people stay out of the area, you know. Obviously, if they thought it was a big enough concern, they would have blocked off Argonne on both sides. They would have blocked off the other road here and then probably well into Millwood. And they would have started evacuations. That's something that we do if we need to.
Now, I mentioned decontamination. Anyone who was in the, quote, hot zone, anyone who was near the burning chemicals or the smoke, there's going to be different levels of decontamination needed. So any of those firefighters, law enforcement, and the people that were inside the building at the time of the fire may need to take some showers and get rid of some clothes tonight. But again, no evacuations in the surrounding area. We do have Empire Street blocked off, but Argonne completely moving steady tonight. Shannon Mouty, KREM 2 News.
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. And KREM 2 did have multiple crews on the ground, and they were able to speak with witnesses as crews worked to put the fire out.
I've lived here for probably 25 years in the neighborhood, and I don't think I've seen this kind of a fire response to any kind of an event over there.
I've only seen fire trucks go past here, but I've never seen like any that like stop here and actually had to stow. Yeah, that's the first time seeing that.
I hope that it's all right and that it's everybody's going to go home and that just be another one of those minor things.
So we'll continue to track that and bring you the latest also tonight. Now just into our newsroom here within the last hour, we do have new information on a shooting that happened on Spokane's South Hill on Monday. Spokane police are now saying the weapon used to hurt at least one driver and damage 2 vehicles was actually not a gun. Detectives aren't saying exactly what type of weapon was used, but they do believe it was likely an air-powered, similar to an airsoft rifle.
So 2 other people on the South Hill report being hit by something that day. Investigators think it was a marble or something else small that was made of glass that caused the damage. Police are still searching for a suspect or suspects.
This bill gives peace officers more discretion to determine whether to engage in a vehicular pursuit to stop criminal suspects.
And just into our newsroom tonight, Governor Inslee has now signed a bill allowing for more police pursuits statewide.
It expands the list of crimes that can trigger a chase, which includes sexual or violent crimes, DUI, escape, domestic violence, and vehicular assault. Officers will now be able to chase someone if they have reasonable suspicion of a crime instead of probable cause.
They know now, hopefully they'll know, that if they run from that situation, we can pursue. Before, we could attempt to stop them and then wave by as they drove away.
All right, switching gears, let's talk weather with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo.
Yeah, Jeremy, how's the rest of the weekend shaping up as we get closer to Bloomsday weekend?
Cooler, wetter, and I think we wind up dry for Bloomsday. How's that sound?
That's great.
Looking better than yesterday even.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. For the most part, we're in the heat of it right now. That heat doesn't last too much longer. 84 degrees, we talked about this a bit earlier. 84 degrees is a record high temperature for the day. Our long-standing record from back in, I think it's 1937 would be today. Yeah, it's a long-standing one there. And so that was 83 degrees. Sorry, I just had to do a little bit of math in my head. Right now we have a few showers popping up. Those are over in Idaho. A couple of them trying to form here in northeast Washington. Not much activity out of any of those. And for the most part, they're falling apart about as quickly as they form. Saw a couple of rumbles of thunder just outside of Wallace and Kellogg, but those didn't really amount to anything. Overnight, those will die down. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, increasing clouds throughout the day. We'll eventually see some rain return overnight, and that takes us into Friday, where a few more widespread showers are expected. So, next few days, 83, sunny tomorrow until tomorrow night when the rain returns. Friday, I think on and off showers throughout the day. Saturday, cooler and wetter in the morning, and then we dry out, and it looks like we stay dry through Bloomsday, which is good, but it also means a chilly Sunday morning.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. Thank you very much. And happening right now, the Lewiston City Council holding a meeting to consider solutions for the city's water storage following a reservoir failure back in January.
If the proposed resolution is approved, it would allow emergency spending of up to $3 million of water reserve funding. 4 months ago, that reservoir ruptured, resulting in about 3 million gallons of water spilling out into Lewiston. The flooding damaged homes, streets, and sidewalks.
The council also considering an order to start phase 2 of the project to repair the reservoir. If both items are approved, final design and construction work would start immediately.
A former Central Valley High School teacher accused of having a sexual relationship with a student has now pleaded not guilty. As of today, the Central Valley School District says that teacher was immediately placed on leave after those allegations came to light last December. According to court documents, 24-year-old McKenna Kindred exchanged inappropriate videos and messages with the student over Instagram, and the two had sex at her home.
Looking ahead to Saturday, a memorial is being held to honor the life of former Spokane County Sheriff's Deputy Craig Chamberlain.
Chamberlain's family has confirmed he passed away over the weekend. Chamberlain served with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office for about 2 decades. That memorial will be taking place at one church in Spokane Valley starting at 2 p.m. For more information, just go to our website, KREM.com.
The Spokane County Sheriff's Office is seeking the public's help for any information about a white car that was seen at the scene of a deadly hit and run near Airway Heights over the weekend. According to investigators, a potential witness reported seeing a white sedan with its hazard lights on behind the truck suspected in that hit and run. Investigators would like to talk and identify the driver or any passengers of that car. The Sheriff's Office says to contact the lead investigators with any information. That number is right there at the bottom of your screen. In other news, a Seattle doctor has died while climbing Mount Everest. The U.S. Embassy says Dr. Jonathan Sugarman died Monday at Camp 2 at an elevation of 21,000 feet after he reportedly began to feel unwell. Sugarman was part of an expedition led by Pierce County-based International Mountain Guides. The company said his death was not due to a climbing accident, and there is not a concern for safety. His cause of death is unknown right now. Dr. Sugarman was a clinical professor of global health at UW. He was also a CEO of a healthcare nonprofit until 2018. We spoke to one of his former coworkers.
Jonathan's passing absolutely leaves a void because he was a very special person in the world who brought his intellect, his passions, and his caring for people to make a real difference.
Those who knew him say Dr. Sugarman had a passion for mountain climbing. He was 69 years old.